Good evening and welcome to Called Into Questions, the hard game show where we ask hard questions during a hard time. My name is Chris King and I am lucky to be joined today with some fellow Colombians here surrounding me here. They are one of my regular teams at one of the trivias where I have used to host before the current situation, but now they have come back this week to play a game once again. So if y'all would like to introduce yourselves real quick.
I'm Liz.
I'm Jared.
Jessica.
Trevor.
I'm Layla.
I'm Cameron.
And it is very good seeing all of y'all. It has been, I was looking at it like the middle of, it was like March 18th, 12th was the last trivia I hosted on a Thursday, which was about 6 weeks ago, which is pretty insane. And, but no, it is very, very good seeing all of y'all. Hopefully y'all have been doing something trivial in the last 6 weeks to keep your mind fresh on facts, I like to think. Has anyone read a book, No Judgment? Because for me, the answer is no. Very good. Wow, y'all are, that's extremely good. I'm very proud of everyone here. That is.
That counts for anything.
Oh, for reading a book counts 100%. I've been just watching movies, which is just book and video form. That's what middle schoolers say when they're not using SparkNotes. So that's the, but that is very exciting. And hopefully all of y'all have been quarantining very well on your own. And that is, it's a good time. And it's good having some locals here. I wouldn't say there's any real local knowledge on this set. This is could be played anywhere, even though y'all are all, South Carolina knowledge is important, and I recognize South Carolina knowledge, but y'all should be following your own here. The way our game will work tonight is we have 3 rounds of 5 questions each. Round 1 is a medium difficulty, round 2 is a hard difficulty, and round 3 is a crazy hard difficulty. I have compared it to shooting a free throw, shooting a 3-pointer, and shooting a half-court shot. And someone else has described it as mild, hot, and Diablo flavor. So that is the level we are going on here. And we just ask 15 questions and we're going to see what each other team knows. We have each chosen a specialist subject. And if y'all would like to tell everyone what your subject is.
Yeah,
The Office.
It is the British sitcom The Office is what y'all have. I'm joking. It just is the American one. Yes.
We're about to be screwed.
Yeah, Liz for a second. I can tell she was like, "Oh no."
No, I know that the 2 main people in it, but that's basically it. Martin Freeman, and Ricky Gervais. That is, I guess there's plots, episodes, or whatever. And y'all team name is straight out of The Office, riffing on your usual team name types at River Rat. And I have chosen, since y'all chose The Office, I thought it would be a companion piece, as I have chosen the Parks Department conference room background as my Zoom background. I have chosen the sitcom Parks and Recreation, celebrating when NBC Thursdays were great before in the good old days. So it's a very good time, and we're going to have some good TV knowledge for that. But we have written all kinds of other questions as well, and we're going to see what everybody knows. I will be keeping score throughout today's game. It is not competing against each other. We're just kind of seeing if you at home could beat out of those. Could you beat Team Straight Out of the Office with their questions? Could you beat me with their questions for me? That will be all to be determined in today's game. But it's going to be a fun time, and I wish all of y'all well. And we are going to start out with our first 5 questions tonight. So I'll read another. This is round 1, and y'all are going to be playing as a group. So if you're, by the way, I'll read all 5 in a row. If you were playing at home, you can take a pause after question number 5, and then we'll go back from the top. So here we go. Question number 1. Clarendon, Juno, Ludwig, Lark, Gingham, Aiden, and X Pro 2 are all examples of what type of digital artistic effect? Number 2, what specific part of the human body is mentioned in a famous order given by Colonel William Prescott during the 1775 Battle of Bunker Hill? Number 3, what type of animal is the Phoenicopterus roseus? And I will spell that all together. It's Phoenicopterus. And the second word is Roseus. Phoenicopterus roseus. Number 4, what is the occupation of someone who is likely to tread the boards? And number 5, it's a recipe passed down from Malone's for generations. When Kevin is describing his chili, he mentions 4 ingredients. What are those 4 ingredients? So those are the first 5 questions in round 1. So I'm going to take a quick pause right here, but we will start back up at the top. So here we go. Number 1, Clarendon, Juno, Ludwig, Lark, Gingham, Aiden, and X Pro 2 are all examples of what type of digital artistic effect?
You know this, Liz?
Instagram filters.
Oh, I think you're right. That does sound right.
That's true.
I know there's Juno. Yeah, I like that.
I know Gingham and X Pro 2.
Ludwig's one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with that. We good?
Yeah, it's good.
Filters forever, but I trust Liz.
And the answer is Instagram filters. That is exactly right. Very well done. I don't know what is like default. Does it have a name, or is it just called normal or standard or default or camera mode? Does anyone know?
Normal.
Normal. I actually don't.
Normal.
Take no filter.
Someone open up the app real quick and figure out what like the name for the default camera setting is called.
Does it have it? I don't think it has a name.
It's just like called original or normal or something.
Yeah, this is all. I'm not a big Instagram user, but they all have fun names like that, which is a very good.
Normal.
Normal. There you go. What a very straightforward name. So there you go. But Instagram filters is exactly right. I don't know if other apps have different filter names, like Snapchat, for example. They all have like dog face and things like that. With the fun things like that. All right. Number 2 is what specific part of the human body is mentioned in a famous order given by Colonel William Prescott during the 1775 Battle of Bunker Hill?
Say it again, I'm sorry.
What specific part of the human body is mentioned in a famous order given by Colonel William Prescott during the 1775 Battle of Bunker Hill?
The eyes.
Don't. Are you guessing or are you inferring?
Because until you see the
I
white.
guess it's better than anything I got.
It's like don't shoot until you see their whites of the eyes. Is that-
That's not 17. That wasn't that old. No, that's something
That's
else.
my guess.
Oh,
I don't know.
I don't know.
That sounds right. That sounds familiar.
Does anybody have anything better?
What are you saying, Trevor? You think it's
I think it's eyes.
Yeah.
eyes? In what context? Like
Don't shoot until you see the whites of their eyes. And I was like, that wouldn't have been 1775.
I've definitely heard that, but I don't know if it's in.
I don't remember where
I don't think
from.
it's 1775. I mean,
I'm not sure.
how would you be able to
I've
think of
seen another body part.
I don't know.
whites of their
Yep,
eyes?
yeah. That's the best I've got.
I think that's the best we've got.
Yeah, I don't have anything better.
You're going with that?
Is that what you're going with?
Yep, final answer.
So what if I said more specifically, the other name for this part of the body is the sclera? Does that help?
No.
Sclera. Oh, we gotta know what that is. Sclera.
You got all.
No, sclera's not in the eyes. Oh my gosh.
So I'll let you know that the sclera is the white part of the eyes, and the famous line is "Don't shoot until you see the whites of their eyes." Right.
We did it.
Don't play us like that.
But no, yeah, it is from the Revolution, one of the famous lines, and it may be apocryphal, but it's pretty. That was definitely said during that battle, but that is the whites of the eyes is exactly
I
right.
knew it was 1775.
Yeah, it was a good colonial history question there. That is, but yeah, whites of the eyes, very well guessed, and figuring no anything better. That's the way to do it, right there. So very well done.
Nice, Trevor.
All right, it's maybe a little bit hard, but maybe fun on the list. Number 3 is what type of animal is the Phoenicopterus roseus? And then the first word is Phoenicopterus, and the second word is roseus, Roseus.
Can you spell the first word? I promise we're not cheating. We just got like a notepad
Oh
out.
yeah, Phoenicopterus. Nicopterus.
Okay.
And the second word, Roseus.
I have my notepad out too, Liz. It's okay.
Roseus sounds like red. But I
Like flower related, like color.
But it's
Maybe red or
yeah, an animal.
something.
All right.
Color related. Like color related.
And phono possibly related to sound? Like,
could be.
So vampire bat maybe? Phono, like if it's blood,
no.
That's a good one.
vampire bat?
I guess with that.
Because you think bat because of the phono, but if it's phono and it's got the red in the, I don't know. Vampire? I don't know.
Phonocopious.
Yeah.
Copy sound. What about a like a parrot? Say you don't have to spell it. Just say the word again.
So it's like Phonicopterus roseus. I think might be
Copterius.
Phonicopterus roseus.
Phonicopterus roseus.
It's like the word phoenix, P-H-O-E-N-I, then C-O-P-T-E-R-U-S, then roseus.
Yeah. Rosiest makes me think it would be related to color, but
Mm-hmm.
so it's like a red something or pink. I don't know.
What's red in Latin?
And a parrot would be a good guess.
It's like, I mean, I don't know if this is any Latin based, but the phono, and then I hear copy. I don't.
We're trying to
I don't know.
I'm trying very hard to sound smart right now.
Chris usually doesn't hear our deliberation, so I feel like there might be some.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I get to hear it in real time. It's very exciting.
Yeah. What do you want to go with?
don't know though.
Yeah.
Bat.
Trevor thinks bat, and it could be.
I like that.
Being sound, related.
For it.
Also with it being.
We want to go with that.
It's probably gonna have to be more
Maybe
specific.
the specific, like, or I don't know. What do you think? You can just bet. I mean,
You can say vampire bat.
I don't know. Is that what we want to say? You got the last one right, so
Trust the instinct.
All right.
Gut.
Roll with it.
you're going with vampire bat. Sure, let's
Going
go.
with vampire bat. Unfortunately, it is not vampire bat. They but not a bad guess. I will say I'll give you the hint that color is very important to figuring out this.
Is it a parrot?
Some kind of red or pink or something.
Yeah, roses.
Get a flamingo. I don't know.
Oh, a flamingo? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of with like a, well-known bright, vivid color, especially related to rose color.
I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but you said the first part, like a phoenix, and I guess a flamingo. Maybe.
Really
I
reaching.
don't think Phoenix is a scientifically named animal.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. Flamingo. Is that what we think?
Worth another guess. Let's
Yep.
do it.
Do it.
Okay, let's do that.
So you went with flamingo here. So phonicopterus, that word coming from Latin means blood red feathered is what it means. I think copterus comes from like the red feathered. I think phoenix means blood or that root there. And roseus is the Latin word for pink. And in fact, the pink bird is the flamingo. That is the scientific name of the greater flamingo, which is not the one we've seen. When I was doing the greater flamingo apparently is the most abundant bird, but it's from it's Africa, the Middle East, that neck of the woods. The one we've all seen is called the American flamingo, and it's Phonicopterus ruber, or R-U-B-E-R, which I think means ochre type color type deal. But no, that's the one that's in the Florida area. But no, it is the flamingo. Very well done. Exactly right. It is a good pink bird. There you go. That is what the answer is there. Vampire bats do fly. That is true. That is do flamingos fly to some degree, right?
Somewhat.
Featherless bird. I don't know.
They migrate.
Just
Yeah,
fly. They
fly.
might, yeah.
I think in zoos they don't fly because they get like their wings clipped and stuff.
Yeah.
Sure. That's fair. Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
No.
They probably fly at the beginning of the Lion King. You know, all the birds are flying. Definitely. That seems right. That feels very right now that I think about it. Number 4 is, what is the occupation of someone who is likely to tread the boards? TREAD and then BOARDS. Tread the
Like
boards.
a sailor or something. I don't know.
Something on a boat.
Yeah, that's the first thing I think of is on a
Play
boat.
on word.
Sailor, fisherman, I don't know.
Read the board.
I was also thinking like surfing, like a surfboard.
Yeah.
You can't really tread on a surfboard. Stand on it if you're not walking anywhere.
Some type of like lumberjack terminology after you.
Ooh,
What?
lumberjack stuff sounds good. Lumberjack sounds right because how they would move logs down the river would be like running on the logs, like treading the boards.
I don't know. It popped in my head. I don't
Maybe
have
tread.
That makes sense to me.
What's another name? Tread. Another move.
Are there any sports including boards?
I mean,
But
yeah,
it's
but it doesn't make sense that it would be that in my mind.
Basketball? Because of the
That
wood.
was the only thing that came to my mind with
Oh.
sports would have been basketball, but I'm not sure that treading the boards has ever been something I've heard of in reference to basketball.
Right.
In the 50s.
I don't know.
Chris stumps us in person and he stumps us
And
on
this
Zoom.
is the mild round.
But part of the game is that every question has hints to it. So it's not, there's a nice, tiered system, as it were.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm.
I like lumberjack best.
Lumberjack?
Going with lumberjack.
I wouldn't know what else.
Better.
It unfortunately is not lumberjacking, or lumbering, I think is the proper term for lumberjackers. So I will say that for the boards here, the boards are stationary in this case. The boards don't move.
So like on a boat. I don't know. That's the first thing I think of is someone that would be like a sailor or a fisherman. Like I don't.
They don't move at all. So I mean,
They're not in the water, they move.
Not
They're just
anything.
stationary boards.
The basketball.
Well, now I'm thinking back to basketball because they don't move. You're moving, but they don't move.
it is still, basketball isn't bad, but it is not sports related either. It is not, basketball player isn't bad, but there's a better thing to do that would be treading the boards, as that phrase.
Tap dancing?
That's closer, but still not usually what the word is. That's not the occupation in mind.
It's kind of like dancing.
Kind of like dancing. Is it like dancing? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Not a clue.
Form of dancing?
Dancing is semi-close. So the right answer, it's acting, is what it is. It refers to theater. The idea of an actor or actress in a theater treading boards is the idea of walking on a stage, and that's like the a classier term for it all. I think any type of performing would be fine, but that's what it's kind of like. To tread the boards would be to to be in a play or a musical or something like that. That is.
Learn
That-
something.
yeah, you did pick things with wood, and turns out wood is very important to a lot of different occupations, from lumberjack to basketball player. But this is, in fact, would be traditional theater is what the answer is here. Well, there you go. But ending with someone not so with someone very lumbering. It's a recipe passed down from the loans for generations. When Kevin is describing his chili, he mentions 4 ingredients. What are those 4 ingredients? And I am looking for like the food itself. So if it was sliced oranges, I don't need sliced, but I do need oranges. You know. Also, oranges are in the chili recipe. So
One of them is onions.
Because he undercooks the onions and everyone's gonna get to know each other in the
They
pot.
get to know each other in the pot, I know.
Garlic, one of them.
Is it garlic? Garlic.
Garlic and chilies.
Chilies, yeah, he did mention chilies.
Is beans or is it the beef? What does he say is the last? It's just beans, right? Beans, chilies, onions, and garlic. Does that make sense?
I think beans.
Traditional chili is meatless, anyways, right?
I think that's it.
See, because I'm thinking of when he spills it on the carpet. There's definitely a little bit of chunk to it, so the beans would give some chunkiness to it.
It does look like beef and beans.
You think?
Or he doesn't mention.
It says beef though.
Yeah.
Like it definitely sounds right. Chilies. So beans, chili, onions, and garlic. Do we think that's it, or do you think there's beef in it, Cameron?
I could stand by that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I'm like trying to hear it in my head, and I don't ever hear him say beef or ground beef. Like,
Yeah, I don't.
so
Beans, onions, chilies, garlic.
I don't remember him saying beans though.
Beans. Yeah, that's like the first thing he says. The
Beans sounds like a Kevin thing to say.
Beans.
bean. I feel like those are the 4.
there's some excellent points being made all the way around. That is
Kevin thing.
I think I'm gonna go with all those 4.
Did you want to toss that one out?
I think it was the chilies that were roasted.
Okay.
Roast. Yeah, I remember hearing him say chilies and onions for sure.
Yeah, and the garlic. I think garlic. He said the garlic and the onions. He says the garlic and the onions.
In the onion. Okay.
You cook the garlic and the onions, and then.
So we know those 3 for sure. And then
Yeah.
Yeah, I swear.
pretty
Like,
sure on beans because it's a Kevin thing to say.
Right.
I think it makes sense.
Is that what we're going with? Beans, onions, chilies, garlic.
Yeah. Final answer.
Fine.
certainly you have named 4 things that are in chili. I think that is, those aren't. You didn't have any weird guesses like ice cream. You did pick 4 chili ingredients. So the
Tomatoes.
trick is to undercook the onions. Is exactly right. And he's up the night before. He is pressing his own garlic, and he is toasting his own ancho chilies. While beans may be in the recipe, he does not mention it. There is another thing he puts into the chili.
Crap. It's not beef though. I swear he does not say.
No, I don't ever hear him say beef.
It is probably tomatoes. I bet you.
Oh yeah, I like tomatoes.
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 I had tomatoes written up here.
So I bet it is tomatoes.
So he presses his own garlic and he dice whole tomatoes.
Okay.
Yes, so close.
That is exactly right. That is the. Do y'all remember? By the way, it all seemed. You've probably seen the chili scene out of context on YouTube. Do you know when that scene occurs in like the course of the show? Do you remember like what episode it is?
I think it's season 2.
Season 6 or something. It's later on.
It's later on. So it's the very next scene. Like the episode before, Michael he sells his own paper company and rejoins Dunder Mifflin. That's when he puts his foot on Jim's desk, like sends Idris Elba out. If you watch it like in a binge, the very next scene is Kevin spilling the chili, and then it's like the 3 of them joining the office again, with the.
Oh
Yeah.
Do the poll.
Who is it? Yeah, that is. Yeah, and it's. I've seen people read where that's the scene where they know Kevin's gonna be dumb forever. That was like the mark of. There's no redemption at this point. Kevin is meant to be an idiot character when he spills that chili face down in that episode. But there you go. It is onions, garlic, whole tomatoes, and ancho chilies. But very well done. And you did name good chili ingredients. I'm sure beans are probably in it, And I'm sure that was probably even put out like an official recipe type as well. But let's see. On all that, I think 3.5 of what y'all earned on that. So a very, very good score starting right now. But there you go. But we'll go on. So now it is the second half of round 1. So now y'all, whoever in whatever order you want, I think it'll be by author of question, will read round 1 to me. And I'm very excited to hear what's going to be.
Yeah, are you guys good with just going top to bottom? We didn't really do a hard, medium, and Diablo. We just
I got you.
kind of added what we know.
Do we want to do like Chris is doing, where we put like our Parks and Rec at the end of each
Yeah,
round?
do it. If you do it as number 5, yeah. And if you want to like do it in your mind real quick, if you can figure out like the 5 easiest, the 5 hardest, and then the 5 in the middle, you can number it on your Google sheet. If you
I don't know. I mean, I think we're fine. Probably just doing the 4 and 1 Parks and Rec, and then
perfect, that works out.
Okay,
do the
so we'll do 3 of the Gen Ed or General Knowledge, I guess, and then 1 Parks and Rec.
Yeah, 4 is 4 general knowledge. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I wrote the first 2 general knowledge. Created in the 19th century, this alphabet uses symbols to represent each distinct and unique sound found in spoken language. Oh yeah, I keep going, I'm sorry. There are approximately 206 bones in the human skeleton. However, only 1 bone is not connected to any other bone. What is the name of this bone? And then,
Here, you want me to read the next? I think I came up with the next 2. All right. Sorry, mine are kind of wordy. So, young adult author received the Outta Award for her first novel in 2018, which was a novel that was challenged by local police for being on summer reading lists for high schoolers in South Carolina. And she then had a movie based on that novel come out the same year, so 2018. And then after that, there are 2 well-known awards. This is number 4, sorry, given annually to children's and young adult authors, which celebrate the representation of Latino and African American culture in literature. Name the 2 awards, which are the names of the women that inspired them. So those 2 specific women. And then if we want to do our first Parks and Rec, do you want me to just read that one?
I'll read it. I wrote it.
Okay.
Leslie was shocked to learn that she was actually born in her arch rival town, Eagleton, and not in her proud town of Pawnee. What was the reason that caused Leslie to be born in Eagleton?
All right, so those are the first 5 questions in round 1. You want to take a moment, take a pause right here, but we will start back up at the top. And so if y'all read out number 1 again.
All right. Created in the 19th century, this alphabet uses symbols to represent each distinct and unique sound found in spoken language.
All right, so I think I got lucky here that, so not only, let's see, I'm actually using let me take off the virtual background. That's the problem with the virtual background is everything you hold becomes a part of it. So not only am I drinking a lovely River Rat beer right here, this is also their signature astronaut sauce, and it is an Indian Pale Ale. And I believe that the alphabet in question here is the International Phonetic Alphabet, or the IPA alphabet is the question.
You got it. Yep. Every day at work.
There you go. Connections. There it was right there, the IPA.
Alrighty, number 2. There are approximately 206 bones in the human skeleton. However, only 1 bone is not connected to any other bone. What is the name of this bone?
I guess it's probably still in the phonetic, the people that deal with phonetics and things like that. So the approximate 206, I guess there's around that number. I guess I've always learned that there's that number, and I guess, yeah, people, for reasons, they are different.
Yeah, so in like a typically developing adult human body, there are approximately 206 bones.
Right, because they fuse together at some point.
Yep.
Sorry, like a 300, a strong number. Get stronger bones. So this is another bone that will be involved with phonetics, and it is named, I think it's named after the lambda, no, one of the Greek letters, but this is, I think, the hyoid, which is the bone in the neck area that makes.
Yes, it's connected to the tongue.
There you go, the tongue bone, which is not connected. So fun times.
All right, well, you got my questions, Chris.
All right.
Let's see if I can stump you. So the young adult author that received an Outta Awards, that's the Audible Awards for audiobooks for her first novel in 2018. And her novel was kind of controversial here in South Carolina when it was released. It was put on a lot of high school summer reading lists, but a lot of local police tried to challenge that and get it banned from those high school summer reading lists. And the same year that a lot of this happened, she also then had a movie come out of that same novel. So who is the author of that book?
What? Okay. So this is I felt better about the IPA alphabet than I do this one. This is all right. So this is someone. Well, what a turnaround! If you get I mean, I guess you could win the award in 2018. The book, the award, and the movie probably didn't all come out in the same year. I bet the book came out a little.
No, the book I believe was released in 2016.
Close, yeah, recently though, yeah. So this is going to be a movie. It's controversial 2018.
But it's been controversial since it came out, especially in the state of South Carolina. It was challenged specifically by several police officers in Charleston for the content.
Okay.
But then that same year, she also had a movie released,
Right.
movie version of that book. So it's very popular, but it's been controversial for its subject matter.
Right. So I just want to think out loud.
You want to try to give me? Do you know the movie or the title of the book? The book.
I do. I want to mull this over for a moment, see if I can remember any other detail. So the only thing, I don't know if this is right. The only movie, I know there's a book, I know there's a movie, and it is probably, I won't say racially charged, but that's the South Carolina slant here. Is what's it called? It's the name of the book. Now, this might be completely wrong. I think it's like, it's all the words that sound near each other. It's like,
There's a frozen tube in the fridge.
it's like That Thing You Hate, I think is the name of the book, or something like that.
We're getting there. It's based off a Tupac lyric.
Yeah, I know it's something like that. And then in the book, and the cover of the book, and maybe even poster of the movie, it is a black girl holding a poster board with the words on the board. And so the question would still be,
Who's the author?
right, so that's the fun fact about books and authors, is that books have them. And I'm sure I've seen it. Like, I mean, I know it was I knew that was like a movie. It was at the Nick at one point. I didn't see it. I know it was at the Nick. I'm not sure if I have the name. I'm not sure I have it. And I don't want to like make up a name. Like, that I'm not going to get any credit with that. Just make it the last name or something. But I know that's the book. Like, I'm almost certain that is the book. And y'all may have confirmed it but I don't know. I know that is the book, but I don't know if I have the author at all. And it's going to be, and I think this person is known for the book. So they don't have a lot of outside success, outside of, being an author. So I don't know. I don't think I have an answer for this. I know it will be the author of, it's like That Thing You Hate, That Thing You Hate, but that thing, I don't have it. It's like that though. Nah, I'm gonna have to take a pass. Like, I don't know what the author's name is. I don't know, but I know that is the book, or I'm thinking of the right book.
Yeah, it's The Hate You Give.
And
the author is Angie Thomas.
I've seen that, man.
This book is already about to be a movie that I think is in production right now. So she will have another movie based off of her second novel. So.
Oh, very nice. No, yeah, Angie Thomas. I've seen that name, but if it's a name I don't know, I can't. I'm not gonna make up a person's name, But the hate you give. There we go. That's I saw it in my mind's eye, but I did not have the name of the author. That is very, very good. And is it still is Charleston unbanned it, or is it, as far as we know?
They never officially were able to ban it, so they had challenged it, but it did not get banned at any of the high schools. So
I think banning books is harder than people think it is. Like, you can get it challenged, but actually people taking time to follow up on things. That's very good. That is a very good question. But now we go to a second book question, number 4.
So this is about children's and young adult literature awards. So this is 2 more names. They are based off of the woman that inspired them. So they're specifically for Latino and African American cultural representation within literature. One of them you should definitely be able to get. I don't want to give you too many hints, but one is very obvious. The other one you probably wouldn't know unless you know someone that teaches younger children.
All right.
But one of them is definitely A
So-
big,
The question started out 2 awards for children's books. I wrote down 2 answers immediately, and then I marked them out immediately because neither Caldecott nor Newberry will be answers to this question. So it's going to be of African American and Hispanic representation in literature. So
2 women.
2 women. So one name, I'm almost positive this woman has a literary award named after her. So I'm going to guess my first answer is Coretta Scott King.
You are correct.
All right. I don't know if that's the obvious
It's her birthday today, so I didn't even realize that when I wrote the question. I was like, oh, it's her birthday. So
I don't know if that's the obvious answer or not.
that is. The other one,
Dookie. I was really hoping that I had
a
good.
well-known children's librarian in Brooklyn.
Right. Yeah. So
Award named after her, I believe, in 1996.
this is a library. This woman was a librarian, not an author on her own.
Yeah, she was a librarian.
This makes it harder. I was hoping it was going to be like Toni Morrison or something. Like another famous. I'm looking for a Brooklyn librarian. I'm thinking of them. I had Coretta Scott King, so I'm very excited about that. But I don't know. I'm not sure. The only other awards I can name that I know are Caldecott and Newberry, and that's neither of these. These are just general book awards. I'm just gonna guess Sandra Cisneros and which is the author of House on Mango Street. That's all. That's the absolute blankest I have, but I don't have anything else here. So
Pura Belpre, the Belpre Award, BELPRE.
And it was a Brooklyn librarian as well.
Yeah, she's a Brooklyn children's librarian, and I think the award was created for her. It hasn't been around too long, like it maybe like 20 to 25 years.
Gotcha.
So it's a newer one.
What's their medals look like? It looks like it's an endowment.
I think both of them are their faces. If I can, I don't have
That's the real glory of a medal, is to have your face on the medal.
Yeah.
That's like glory forever. Like Pulitzer's, the Nobel, that's got a person's face on it. That lasts forever. That's the way you can.
You made it.
That's why exactly. Like people will receive awards in the future based on your face. That's about as good as you can get. There you go. But Coretta Scott King, happy birthday, Coretta Scott King. And then, so now, number 5, going back to the Parks Department.
All right. Leslie was shocked to learn that she was actually born in her arch rival town, Eagleton, and not in her proud town of Pawnee. What was the reason that caused Leslie to be born in Eagleton?
And then I've been making sure, I just don't want to mess this up. Like I'm making sure the answer I have is the right answer. And it's because the hospital was overrun with raccoons, right? Like the Pawnee.
Final answer?
It was definitely, that's definitely what it's not. I know it was an animal. I'm making sure it's raccoon and not like possums or squirrels, but it's raccoons. The raccoons. I'm gonna go hospital overrun with raccoons. That's my answer.
You got it.
That was I've always, like, Pawnee is a semi-bad town. It's and I think they know they are. Like, that's bad. That's very not good. Is a hospital overrun with raccoons. That is truly a terrible thing. Like, I hope
Pawnee staple.
that's right. Pawnee is one of those TV towns that's as big as it needs to be. Pawnee is sometimes like a 300-person town with nothing, and then they end up being the home of like Facebook and a national park at the end of the show. And so it's it's a full gamut there. And hopefully they got rid of the raccoons. Raccoons come up way too much on Parks and Rec. That is a plot point of multiple episodes.
Eagleton Pawnee Park.
That's right. Exactly. Raccoons all the time. That's and of course, and then a raccoon, or Andy Samberg has to deal with a raccoon as well, the mayor's, the mayor's dog and everything like that. So that's a good time. So on all that, I think 1, 2, I believe I also received 3.5 on that. I think I had 1 author and then 3 others right. So I will take my points on that. So there we go. Right now we are tied at 3.5, but we now go to round number 2. So there's going to be
Okay.
it's going to be a good time. So here we go. Number one in round two. Number one is in 2004, the lights on the Empire State Building were dimmed for 15 minutes to mark the death of actress Fay Wray, probably best known for starring in what film? Number two is, although he is not Armenian, what musician has a stage name that doubles exactly to the URL of his own website, which includes the top-level domain suffix for Armenia? Number three is, winning in 2009 and 2013, respectively, what two American women of Chinese descent have won the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Council of Fashion Designers of America? The first is an eclectic designer known for fragrances like Secret Wish and Dolly Girl, while the second is known for her wedding dresses. Number four, Bear Run, a 5-mile-long tributary of the Youghiogany River, and I can spell that. That is Youghiogheny, Youghiogany River, is best known in connection to what building built in 1935? And number five, a little bit of a long one here, but it's very good. So number five is, while the show focuses on the crew in the office upstairs, the warehouse is a vibrant place filled with lots of people who aren't Daryl or Roy. And I'm going to give you 5 quotes, and you need to name the warehouse member.
Oh, man.
Okay.
All right. And I will read out these 5 quotes. Yeah, number one, yeah, I bet you like to swim with this sea monster, wouldn't you?
Describe what they look like.
You got names of characters here.
That one.
Number 2, I wasn't here. It's a pretty common saying. You may want to log it away for future use.
Got that one.
Number 3, Michael, I gave you a ride home last week. We spent an hour in traffic.
Just watched this episode like 2 seconds ago.
Number 4, hey, do you want me to go? I'll go.
No, that one.
No, that one.
And number 5, in Japan, heart surgeon number 1.
Yeah.
So those are the 5 questions in round 2. If you're thinking about taking a pause right here, but we will start back up at the top with number 1 in round 2. Is in 2004, the lights on the Empire State Building were dimmed for 15 minutes to mark the death of actress Fay Wray, probably best known for starring in what film?
No idea who this is, guys. Hey, Ray.
Fay Wray?
Films and books are out for me.
And you said this was 2004?
Died in 2004.
Yes.
Died in 2004. So older actress. Most likely like a Hollywood, old Hollywood.
Young, tragically, I don't know.
Fay Wray.
Unless it was like a tragic sudden death, like
Yeah.
Jessica said.
And she must have been a New York, I'm assuming born in New York for her to be so like missed greatly and for it to be lit up in New York, right? Because it was the
Empire State Building.
okay, yeah. So
Wait, Empire State Building. How many King Kongs are there?
like
There's
you,
one with Jessica Lange.
there's the 1936,
Eh?
36.
The
Like,
original. What about the original King Kong then? Would she have been the first actress that played?
That's a really good guess.
That's a good guess.
I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't know anything else. I feel like that's
Makes sense for the.
Original King Kong?
yeah.
Like nose lit up. Yep.
Wait, did you say what colors they were lit up?
I just say that they were dimmed. The lights were dimmed for.
Or, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
okay.
That would make sense because the Empire State Building is a pivotal, location.
Is that what we're going with? We good?
Done.
For me.
Okay.
All right. So Fay Wray was 96 years old when she died, and died in New York. Originally a Canadian, but She was about 26 years old in the 1933 film King Kong. Which is
Yeah.
exactly
30s.
right. It was because that is the building, and that is they made her death in 2004, which is seems wild. You know, that was a long 1933 was a very long time ago, and 2004 was not too long ago. But yeah, that was a full, well-lived life there. King Kong is the movie. Number 2 is, although he is not Armenian, what musician has a stage name that doubles exactly to the URL of his own website, which includes the top-level domain suffix for Armenia?
Okay, so then what's the domain suffix for Armenia? ARM? Like, that's what we have to figure out, right? Or ARME?
AM, I believe it's AM.
Yeah.
Like the country codes are usually what they are, and I'm pretty sure it's AM.
Yeah, like Canada's.ca.
Yeah, it's like CA, Germany's DE, stuff like that.
So someone has that in their URL is what we're trying to figure out?
So I think we're looking for someone whose stage name ends with AM or what other country code you're.
So he's not Armenian,
No.
but his website has the Armenian domain.
Because people will buy domains that can spell out their name. It's pretty common.
Yeah.
Are we understanding the question right, Chris?
So this musician is not Armenian, but his stage name doubles exactly to the URL of his own website.
Okay.
And that website includes the top-level domain suffix for Armenia.
Okay.
So he's got it
It's
spelled out
something
where it's
.am.
.am. Okay.
So a musician
So-
with .am, AM in his name.
If it's AM. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's AM, but
Will I Am or something? Isn't that?
Oh, Will I Am. That's it.
I think that's it.
That's it.
That would make sense. I can't think of anybody else.
Right? Off the top.
Will.I.am. And not dot.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep. Yep.
That's your answer is Will I Am?
Will I?
And you're exactly right. If you go to
I don't know how this is happening, guys.
yeah,
2 for 2, Jazz. Keep it going.
exactly right. And it's my understanding that Armenia would receive some amount of money because of how that works. Like
Because hosting the domain.
right. And famously, the country of Tuvalu, a Pacific Island country,
.tv.
.tv, and I've read like 10% of their GDP comes from leasing out .tv.
Oh, wow.
People. Yeah. So the trick is to be a country that has like a fun initialism like that. So there you go. But, yeah.
.fm is another thing.
Will.I.am if you want to check out Will I Am's canceled summer 2020 concert events. I'm sure you can find it all right there. I went not too long ago. Apparently, the Black Eyed Peas was more than 4 people. They have like people come in and out. It's not just like the 4 you can name. You can name 4 Black Eyed Peas. Apparently, there's like 8 total people in the history of the Black Eyed Peas. Who knew? That is wild to me. Black Eyed Peas was 10 years ago. Number 3 is winning in 2009 and 2013 respectively. What 2 American women of Chinese descent have won the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Council of Fashion Designers America? The first is an eclectic designer known for her fragrances like Secret Wish and Dolly Girl, while the second is known for her wedding dresses.
One of them is definitely Vera Wang.
Vera Wang. That's the one that I know. I don't know the other one.
Dresses.
But Vera Wang, I thought, also did fragrances, so now I'm confused.
Not usually.
Vera Wang's more known for her gowns. If she does make fragrances, she's more known for her gowns.
Of Chinese descent, so.
What was the other fragrance name? Dolly Girl and
Secret Wish.
Secret Wish.
I'm just not a fragrances person. They make me sneeze.
I've had the same one for years.
But like Vera Wang does fragrances. I can't even talk anymore. Fragrances too, because she did that Princess or whatever. Like, wasn't that Vera Wang? Like, she has one called like Princess or like
I don't know. If she does, they're not popular. And I don't even think, if you were to type in Vera Wang, I don't even think she'd have them on her website.
That's the thing. Am I thinking of Vera Wang or am I thinking of somebody else that has like a similar name that does? I don't know. I don't know.
I have no idea on the fragrances.
And the tricky thing is, it's like Chinese descent. So do they have a Chinese last name? Because it doesn't mean they necessarily have a Chinese last name.
Yeah, they could have married and taken husband's name.
Or it could be that like her mother is Chinese, but her father's American. So then she would have his American name. So that's another tricky thing. You can't automatically assume that you're looking for a Chinese last name. So I'm just trying to think of different fragrance brands.
Thank you. I was like having the same problem saying the word fragrant.
Fragrance.
Um,
Like, what are some brands that just come to your mind? Like, I don't really know.
All I could think of is Jessica Simpson. And she's not of Chinese descent.
That would be shocking.
Counter in my head, like of all the different brands.
Yeah. What's?
I don't know if we'll ever get this one.
No, that's a French brand.
Cool water.
Who?
That's the thing. A lot of designers have fragrances.
Who's
But Chris, it's definitely two different people, right?
Yeah, these are two different people. Like the Secret Wish and Dollar Girl is the person that won in 2009, and the Wedding Dresses woman won in 2013.
Get older.
Who is? Okay, so there's Victoria's Secret, who is based off a person. Who is Victoria? Is she? Do we know?
What?
Do you mean Victoria's Secret has their own?
Like scents and stuff.
Yeah.
No, but
A guy found it.
yeah, a
That
guy
company.
found a Victoria's Secret
Shocker.
or something.
Ugh,
I got nothing, y'all.
stumped. I know the one is Vera Wang, but I cannot think about Dolly Girl. When it said Dolly Girl, I was like, Dolly Parton. No.
Is not Dolly Parton. She is not. not Chinese.
Does the person that designs fragrances, do they design anything else?
When I was making sure, this person does design a number, like her brand and everything, like does design other things. I think if you had to put one thing this person may be best known for, it's probably fragrances. I wouldn't say clothes or something along those lines.
Right. It's not like an actress who like has her own fragrance brand. Oh, I just like.
I don't know. I don't think we're gonna
We get the half point.
take the half point. For
Yeah, because I'm stumped.
I don't know.
Yeah, half point.
So you take your half point. Who is one half of it?
If we're right.
Yeah, is one of them. She is the one that the latter one there. You said Victoria. So by the way, the title of the store refers to Queen Victoria. The idea that like I don't want to say Puritan, but the idea of like there's common society, like Victorian era, living, and like this is not how you present yourself. However kind of that's what the idea, Victoria's Secret means as a title. The other woman here, you have not said it so far. If I said her initials are AS, would that help? And maybe you just have not heard of this person. And then there's always very much that. This is difficult.
No, it's not.
And the other woman is Anna Sui, and it's ANNASUI.
Never heard of her.
And that is, but I think she's very established. I think she was big in the decade of the 2000s and the late 90s, from what I can tell, doing research about her. But she made clothes as well. But I think like fragrances is what is like she may be known for designing certain fragrances like that. But Anna Sui,
Fragrance brand named after her name, or is it?
I believe it's like her brand is that. I'm clearly a very high fashion type person, as I wear a Gamecock t-shirt. It seems like I think it is like Anna's like Anna, like her name appears in like the brand, from my understanding of her products. So there you go. Anna SUI is the last name there. So, but no, a full half credit there. Let's see. Number 4 is Bear Run, a 5-mile long tributary of the Youghiogheny River, and that's Youghiogheny, is a best known in connection to what building built in 1935?
Wait, hold on. Hey, Chris, spell that one more time slowly.
Yes, the long river, the tributary of the Youghiogheny. And Bear Run is the 5-mile long tributary of that larger river.
Looks like Youghiogheny, which is out of Pittsburgh.
I very well might be mispronouncing the name of the river, by the way. There is lots of letters in that one, and it would not shock me to find out it was pronounced.
Okay, so it looks like the spelling of Youghiogheny, which is a river in Pittsburgh. And if my dad's going to murder me if he sees this.
And we told him we'd be here, so.
Yeah, we told him we'd be here.
Be dead.
And if this is not how you spell Youghiogheny, he's going to murder me. But if it is, Pittsburgh's known for their still mills. But that's about all I got right now.
But it's in reference to a specific building, I believe.
The U.S. Still building. But the Bear Run doesn't make any sense in that.
Can you repeat the whole question, please? Because I feel like there's a...
Bear Run, a 5-mile long tributary of the that name of that river, is best known in connection to what building built in 1935?
In 1935?
So there'd be something that branches off of the Youghiogheny, if that's how you spell it.
If that's how you spell it. Oh my god, my dad's gonna murder me if he watches this.
Bear Run.
1935. You know where
for game show contestants, they always talk about someone that's going to murder them for not getting questions right. It's sad that there's so many people willing to commit murder over trivia shows. It's very disappointing. Like, you know, everyone knows somebody that they're going to get personally murdered for not knowing a certain thing.
What about any other historical buildings in Pittsburgh, Liz? Or is there any other? I mean
1935 is around the time of the still. No, that was earlier. My pap worked in the steel mills. My dad's uncle worked in the steel mills, and that would have been in the 60s, which is around when that time.
Totally not. The start of it was not then.
It's got to be some kind of historical building, I have a feeling.
I feel like it's a famous building.
And I feel like there's some kind of significance as to why it would be built upon a river. Like, what did it do?
So the steel mills were built on rivers.
Do you know
Check on these steel mills.
the name?
It's the tributary leads to this building, so it's not on the river. It's off the tributary.
Yeah. You know,
I mean, I just know that the Youghiogheny is in Pittsburgh, over by where the steel mills were.
Geography is not my strong suit, guys.
Any famous buildings in Pittsburgh?
There's
the Heinz Ketchup Building.
Yeah, the Heinz Ketchup Building.
U.S. Steel Building, I don't know.
U.S. Still's all that I can think of, but I'm just grasping at straws on that one.
This is all assuming that this is the Youghiogheny.
Yeah, and that's assuming I know how to pronounce that word. I need the International Phonetic Alphabet spelling of this.
Yeah, I don't have that. I mean, that might be how you pronounce it. I just saw the name. I should have looked up how to pronounce it before we started. I usually do that for most of my trivia hosting, so I know I don't look dumb going into it. But I did not do it, unfortunately. So
anything bear related in Pittsburgh?
The bear plant. There's the bear plant was in Pittsburgh. BAYER, the medications building.
But that's also by Moon, so that's definitely not by the steel
But in
mills.
1935, the Bear Building just moved like 5 years ago.
Right.
Bear used to be a Pittsburgh company, and it's spelled Bayer.
It's a German company.
Yeah.
But it would make sense if it's called Bear Run. I don't know where it used to be located.
That's
Yeah.
Is it Bear Run though, Chris? Like BEAR, Bear Run?
BEAR, like the animal.
So I don't think it would be related to that necessarily. I don't know.
I got nothing, so y'all's guesses are better.
I mean,
if it's best known for being connected to this tributary, I mean, it would have to be a mill or a dam or something. I mean, or else I don't see how a building could have so much influence on Bear Run.
The Hoover Dam.
is it the Hoover Dam? I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know, guys. I'd say U.S. Steel or Bear.
I'd say U.S. Steel, but I don't think it's right.
I have no idea.
That works for me.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Mill of the U.S. Steel. So I can tell you that the Allegheny River is Western Pennsylvania.
It's not Allegheny then.
That is correct. That is correct knowledge. It is not the U.S. Steel Mill. That is incorrect. But it does. You are in the correct neck of the woods. This building is closest to the city of Uniontown.
Okay.
I think only applies to one person. who knows.
Nothing is in Uniontown.
This building is, and it's important enough for Chris to have it on the trivia question.
Where's Hershey, Pennsylvania?
Hershey's
On the other side.
Eastern PA.
Never mind.
Okay, Uniontown. In Uniontown, there's a giant statue of
Is
a
it Carnegie?
bear. No, there's a giant statue of a bear. I've been to Uniontown. Shoot.
It makes sense why it's Bear Run then.
Yeah. Why is that bear important? What did he run from?
It's going to a building. Uniontown's a very blue collar city.
You don't know it.
I don't know it.
So I'll give you another hint here is you're right that the building is very important to the body of water. And this building is on that body of water. Very famously, this building is on this body of water. It is this building is near Uniontown, but it is not downtown. It's a little more in the woods. But this building is famous for its connection to the body of water. And this building has a specific name.
I don't know if it's like a sawmill or something.
It would be a specific name, and we wouldn't know the
I don't
specific name for
What
sure.
I said, it's a home. It's a house.
Wait a minute. Is it the house of a famous painter?
It is not the house of a famous painter, but the house was designed by a famous painter.
The MC Escher.
Oh, right.
The MC Escher? The MC, what's the one?
Right. Maybe.
Is it
Another word, MC Escher.
Frank
That's
Lloyd
it.
Wright?
Frank Lloyd Wright is an architect, and that is right. Do you know the name of the building?
It's a friend.
Falling water.
That's the name of the building. It is.
Oh.
Yes. Falling Water is the name of a famous home in Western Pennsylvania built by some wealthy couple. And the building is a Frank Lloyd Wright Prairie style design, and it famously is built cantilevered on top of the Bear Run Creek and has a nice little waterfall going outside of it. And it is one of the most famous architectural designs in the United States. Is Frank Lloyd Wright.
My brother and his wife have been to
Oh,
visit
yeah.
it. Yep.
You all definitely know the house.
Yeah.
And
It's a very, very famous house. If you just Google
it does end Gainey like Allegheny. I think it's the same Lenape roots, both of the two words. But yeah, Falling Water is that house there. So there you go.
That was so
now-
fun.
Now that Western PA knowledge all coming back to you immediately there. So, but we move away from
family's group chat. No one knows that you're off the hook.
to go to the warehouse. So I said I gave you 5 quotes, and I'll just go down them one at a time, and you need to tell me the person that said that line looking for a warehouse member. So number 1 was, "Yeah, I bet you like to swim with this sea monster, wouldn't you?"
That's Patrice O'Neill's character, isn't it? Cecil is his name. Is it Cecil?
Says it to Kelly because they're talking about,
When they're doing the
right?
thing for
Yeah. It's Patrice O'Neill plays them.
isn't it Cecil? Is it or Cyrus? Or I feel like it's
I
something.
don't remember his name though. His character's name.
Or Cyril, Cyrus.
Like I can see him in my head. And I can see
Cecil, it's like C-Y.
Cecil sounds right.
Isn't it?
Right, more so than the other one you said.
Cyrus is, I feel like Cecil does sound,
Like
Cecil.
C-E-I-C-I-L, right? Isn't his character
C-E-C-I-L.
C-E-C-I-L? Yeah.
That sounds right.
Isn't that his name? Isn't that crazy? Huh?
That works for me.
Is that it? Is that who we're saying?
You're saying Cecil?
Cecil.
So it is the character's name is not Cecil.
What is his name?
Oh.
Is it something with a C? Does it start with a C?
Just start with
There's no C in the name of the answer. No.
What the heck? What is Patrice O'Neill's character? Oh my god.
okay. Because I can remember it too.
Yep.
And what was the quote again?
Yeah, I bet you like to swim with this sea monster, wouldn't you?
Big black.
It was like Cyrus or something. No.
It's not a C.
I know, but it's stuck. Ugh.
I didn't read any
Half
of
point for Patrice O'Neill.
it. No, I will.
It's very good. I'm trying to think the right actor there. I told you the first letter is L. Will that help?
Lloyd.
Lloyd.
It's not bad. It's Lonnie. Lonny.
Dang.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Now you say it, I know it, but I've never looked at their names. And
Yeah,
more warehouse workers.
exactly. I wanted to make sure we gotta respect. It can't just be all the main crew. We gotta respect that warehouse crew. Number 2 was, "I wasn't here." It's a pretty common saying. You may want to log it away for future use.
Nate. That's Nate.
That is Nate. Very right. Number 3 is, "Michael, I gave you a ride home last week."
That's
spent
Michael.
traffic."
Yeah, it's Michael.
Forgot your own name.
Watch the episode.
That's exactly right. Number 4 is, "Hey, do you want me to go? I'll go."
I think this is Midge, the female.
I think it's Midge, yeah.
They're all talking about guy-related stuff, and she's like,
'Cause it's Women's Day and the guys are downstairs and they're like, "Why would you want to go?"
Is it Midge or Madge? What's her
It's
name?
Midge. It's
Midge.
Midge. 100%.
Michael calls her Pudge or
How
something.
you said it, I don't know.
calls her
But I think
Pudge,
it's
and she's
Midge.
like, "That's not my name." Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Midge.
And then Jim wears Midge's shirt when they go to
Yeah.
the other.
So you're going with, the correct answer is, it's Madge. Y'all are still
I said Madge, guys. I was
continuing to not remember Madge's name. But Madge, I'll give you credit though. That is exactly right. So Pudge isn't right. And it is, Madge is right. Turns out Madge was basically a constant figure in the entire run of the show, but she only has like 2 lines. That's one of them. And the other one is like, "No, it's always been Madge," when she corrects Michael. And basically we only see her as a background character, or even talked about by other characters. But that's like her only real line is the episode, exactly as you said. Very well done. And number 5 is, "In Japan, heart surgeon number 1, steady hand."
Steady hand.
Hide,
I feel like anything I guess will be racist if it's wrong.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Hide.
It's Hide. I just couldn't remember. I knew it started with an H. It's
I can't remember his full name, but it's Hide.
I don't actually have his last name, but Hide is exactly right. That is exactly the right answer there. And I'll give you full credit on that for being pretty sure as well. So there you go. That is all very excellent knowledge there. But yes, the warehouse crew, we had to respect them. We weren't gonna, but good Madge knowledge, and that was, like I said, that was all very
All
excellent.
right, now
And good. Glad you saw Michael's roast. You got to see the good Michael line. Apparently his only episode, according to Office Wiki and things like that. So there you go. But no, 3.5 on that. So now you have a full 7 points out of our 10. So very well done. Good
That's
off.
for my Pittsburgh knowledge.
That's right. Western PA represents. So now you know Falling Water is a good art question type there. And geography. So there we go. All right. Now turning the tables.
All right, so Cameron, you've got 3 questions. Then Trev will read his one, and then I'll do my Parks and Rec. You want to do it that way?
Yeah.
You can go ahead and start.
Okay. So, Chris, I hope you like music because I did everything music related.
Let's go. Let's see what's going to happen.
Okay. So, this first one is this infamous talent manager was known for managing Elton John from 1970 to 1998 and the British rock band Queen from 1975 to 1978. He was also played by Game of Thrones actors Aidan Gillen and Richard Madden in the films Bohemian Rhapsody and Rocket Man. All right, and the next question is, Madonna was the first musical artist to sign this deal with her record label, which gave the company complete control over any creative decisions and opportunities, and allows the company to earn a percentage of each stream of revenue. And my last one, I hope you like K-pop. The K-pop band BTS has had over 10 songs featured on Billboard's Top 100 in the past 3 years, and has also featured artists. They've collaborated with artists such as Nicki Minaj, Halsey, Steve Aoki, Juice WRLD, and more. Name 4 out of the 7 members.
No, name all 7. Make him name all 7, Cam.
Make them name all 7?
All 7.
He's shaking his head. I'll say name 4 out of the 7.
All righty.
All right, those are my 3. Go, Trevor.
Pull it up. Okay, which French soccer player finished his career by headbutting an opposing player at the 2006 World Cup Finals?
Okay, so we got a sports question there. And then here is what will hopefully be a difficult Parks and Rec question. Before April and Andy set out to complete several of the items on Andy's bucket list, Andy lists out 9 specific items to the cameras. Name at least 5 of the 9 that he lists.
So this is before, this is just like.
This is before. He's just rambling to the cameras. He's like, oh yeah, this is my bucket list. And he lists 9 specific items to the cameras. Then in the episode, they go and start completing some other ones that he does not previously list.
Oh, all right. So
Yeah.
those are the 5 questions here.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you take a pause if you want to think about it a little bit more, but we'll start back up at the top. So let's start with number 1 in this set.
Okay, so the first one I asked you is music related, and it is, this infamous talent manager was known for managing Elton John from 1970 to 1998, and the British rock band Queen from 1975 to 1978. He was also played by Game of Thrones actors Aidan Gillen and Richard Madden in the films Bohemian Rhapsody and Rocket Man.
Yeah. So I've seen both movies, and I even knew that this guy was in both movies. And Game of Thrones actors played him in each one. And the real fun fact is that I don't know this guy's name. And what are the 2 actors? It's Aidan and
Gillen, and then Richard Madden. If you remember, he's in Game of Thrones. He plays Rob, who gets killed in the Red Wedding.
Right, exactly.
Spoiler alert.
Spoilers, Cameron. Warning for
What?
anybody that has. I said warning for anybody that was planning on watching the show. Oh, Liz, sorry.
I wouldn't let her. I will not let her do that to herself.
What? Watch the show?
Watch the show. Because of the ending, not worth it.
That's not a good reason. That's not. You gotta watch. Yeah, you gotta watch it. Just
It ruined me for several weeks.
After the first season, that's the only advice I can give you. End it with season 1.
Well, hopefully nobody caught what I said, and just
No, I did not.
because the back of their mind.
So, man, it's this guy. The problem is the name I had in my mind was Richard, but that's one of the actors.
That's the actor, yeah.
Yeah.
Very bland name. It's not
Very simple name.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably like Edward Smith or something, a good British name like that. Edward's always a good name for a British person.
Not British, actually. I believe he is Scottish. I don't know if that helps, though.
That is the island of Britain. That's not incorrect. Is British. But turns out Scottish will get mad when you say British. Man, I could watch these movies again. Rocket Man Theater. How about Robert Smith? I'll be my guess here. I don't have anything better. I know it's like I knew a lot of the details that you said in the question. Unfortunately, the detail you did not give was the answer to the question.
And, so unfortunately that is incorrect. His name is actually John Reed.
That's very straightforward. Reed. And Reed's a very good UK name as well. John Reed. Yeah, so it is like 2 Game of Thrones actors played both people, which is
yeah. He was not a great guy. Later got arrested for assaulting a woman. Not a great person.
He's definitely not good in Rocket Man. I don't really remember him much in Bohemian Rhapsody, but I knew he was. He was definitely no bueno in Rocket Man, the movie.
Right. Very manipulative, kind of pushed Elton John through his, drug use and not good news.
John Reed. But that's good about the good movie connection there. John Reed. Gotta put that number there. So, but no, take a strike on that. All right. So another music question to Madonna now.
Yes. Okay. So Madonna was the first musical artist to sign this deal with her record label, which gave the company complete control over any creative decisions and opportunities and allows the company to earn a percentage of each stream of revenue. What is this deal?
So I'm trying to think. That's a very interesting answer. Is a type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna think out loud. There's a lot. Just tons of music industry stuff. The only thing I kind of have like a grasp on is blank per album. Like I know that's always a big like like when TV people or movie people they make blank million like they make blank number of much money per episode or the first baseball player to ever win like $1 million per season things like that. So I'm trying to think if it is that. I'm trying to think what dollar amount would make sense for a thing if that is right. I mean I don't know what it could be like. Or it could even be like an album deal. First person to sign for 10 albums or something.
So I'll give you a little bit more of a description of what it kind of is. So basically, she has signed with her record label.
Right.
Now they want complete control out of everything she does. So her, for instance, being an actress in a league of their own, they get money before she gets money. Commercials, they get the money before she gets the money. So anything she does, even if it's not just creating an album, they take a percentage of.
Got you. Man, she basically sold herself to the company. Like that's like as like she's owned by a company in every aspect. Man, what was it?
First one to do it too, and a lot of artists.
And it has to have a name. What do you call this? Is it like something like I don't like first artist to like sell her life rights? I'm trying to think like what a term might be here. I'm gonna say something like that. Sold life rights or something along those lines.
So it is not that. I'll give you a little more of a hint like you do with us. So the term has numbers in it. So completion.
Is it like a 10%er? Is that something like that? Like I know agents make 10% off of their clients.
It's basically literally just blank deal.
Ooh, 10 deal. I don't know what the number might be here. What is this?
So it's 360 deal, like a circle all the way around.
60 deal. And so that is so I guess I guess this company's still making money from the current project. I mean, I guess she's making music now still. I mean, I know she put it out like last year, so
Yeah.
I'm not
I
sure
mean, it's anything that she just stamps her name on. They take the first,
Is
first pick.
she's trying to get out of that, or is she happy with this deal?
I know that for some 360 deals, like for every contract, there's a life to it, like there's a term to it. So I don't know how long she signed. I don't know if she basically signed until she was still, in the eye of the public.
Right.
But I'm sure there's something in the clause that will basically hold her to them.
I guess she's got her money. I mean, that doesn't hurt. Yeah, she got enough money where it probably all works out. Number 3 on your list, you gave a definition of BTS, and the question was to currently name 4 out of the 7 BTSers. And I'm going to disappoint you here that there is no name of a BTSer that I have to heart. I think most of them begin with the same letter. Is that true?
4 out of the 7 do start with the same letter.
Yeah. And actually, I think they mostly start with the letter J. Is that right? Is J the letter they all start? But the fact is, I will not guess possible names of Korean stage names to try to get 4 out of 7 on this. And I may just have to take the pass on BTS members. I am very sad to say. I know when they came on the Late Show with Stephen Colbert, when it was their TV debut, Colbert did a funny Ed Sullivan Show parody with a black and white set, and he was pretending to be Ed Sullivan, and he introduced all 7 of them as the cute one, and it was kind of a funny bit. Instead of like the Halabilos were all the smart one, things like that. But yeah, I'm sorry to tell you, I cannot name the members of BTS. And if you would like to give me a rundown, I would gladly appreciate it.
Okay, so I'll name the 4 with the same first letters. So there's J-Hope. There's Jimin. By the way, some of them aren't even Korean names. Some of them are just stage names, like J-Hope.
Right, yeah, and I think there's some mix of both, but
So J-Hope, Jimin, Jin, very similar to the other one, and Jungkook are the 4 with the same name. And then you've got RM, simply just RM, Suga, like sugar, but without the R, and then V. And that's it.
There you go. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's the thing. I should probably have more. I can name like all 5 One Directioners, but I cannot do BTS. I know people can, and I know when I check Twitter all the time, it blows up, and you see a member of BTS trending on Twitter because there's a massive coalition making it trend worldwide. But I'm sadly not adding to the dialogue. So sorry to disappoint you on that. But BTS, a true revolution. That is. All right, sorry about that. So number 4 on this one here is
which French soccer player finished his career by headbutting an opposing player at the 2006 World Cup Finals?
Luckily, I only know one French player, and you did correctly describe him. I saw this game when it was happening, which is probably the first game I ever saw in soccer. And I'm pretty sure I have his last name. It's Zidane, Zidane is my guess here. And his first name is also begins with a Z, and it's like Zinfandel. It's not Zinfandel, but it's something similar with that type of vibe to it. But yeah, Zidane, I believe is his last name. That's my guess.
Yeah.
Zinedine.
There you go. And it was like 2 Z's, and it was close to that pattern to it there. I was not expecting to get the French soccer question and miss the Elton John question, but yeah, that's how it it shakes down sometimes. All right, so now we go back to number 5 on the bucket list here.
So it's before they start completing some items on Andy's bucket list, he just gets in front of the camera and does one of his spiels. And he's like, yeah, I've got a bucket list. And he lists 9 total things on the camera. What are 5 of those 9?
Man, what is this gonna be? It ends so nicely, and it's one of my absolute all-time favorite jokes is where the faces of the presidents is. He ends it when he's at the Grand Canyon, and that murders me that he would live his entire life and not know what Mount Rushmore and or the Grand Canyon is, and just be confused. If I can name some of the things they do, like I feel like some of them. Okay, wait. I feel like some of them may have involved to do with buckets. That would make sense. Like you would think a bucket list was things to do with a bucket. That's like a train of thought.
I'm thinking of Andy logic right now.
Right.
Andy logic.
Like but I'm trying to think what the joke might be. Oh man, I'm not gonna get 5 though. That's the thing. This is a. I wish I had more line by line memorization of this episode, and I don't. Like I need to hold $1,000, be your own action hero, make the world's best grilled cheese. It's the world's best grilled cheese sandwich.
One, you got one.
Oh well, I mean he does that. I know he does.
Yeah, he lists some of them. They aren't all things that he completes, but he lists some of them in front of the camera before they start completing items. So the grilled cheese sandwich is one of the ones that he does list to the cameras.
Very good. I know he wants to hold $1,000 is one of them. I'm not sure if that's a thing he performs on his list. I know that's, he goes to
he performs that one, but he doesn't list it.
Have you ever seen so much money? Yes, I have. I can give it to you. And then he wants it in nickels. And
see, you've got the episode right there, Chris.
I know I do.
What he says on the camera.
Yeah, it's just you gotta know. Yeah, it's just. I'm trying to think of the other ones they do in person. One's like starring your own action movie where they get Jerry to recreate. But
recreate a movie.
Recreate a movie.
But can you think of the specific movie? It's a 1990 classic with a specific.
Classic.
It's a classic with a specific basketball player.
1990. So is it
90s movie with a basketball player? He wants to remake this movie and get it right this time.
Oh, Shazam? No.
Shazam.
Kazam. Yeah, I wouldn't have Kazam. That's funny.
He wants to remake Kazam and get it right.
Oh, I remember that. I can remember that now. I got some episodes of Parks and Rec to watch now. I have like a watching list to get back on the horn. But I mean, without you just talking it through with me, I'm not sure I'm going to get 3 more, which is disappointing. And I may take half credit on this to be proud of myself. Make me laugh. What is this bucket list? And are there any more you see on screen that he does? I was trying to think of.
No, I don't think so. I think it's just the grilled cheese is the only one that he actually does.
He almost kind of does the first one on the list. Sort of.
Well, that's in a different episode, though.
That's the
You're thinking of the bachelor party episode.
Sort of.
Yeah.
He says he wants to catch the winning touchdown at the Super Bowl, make the most amazing grilled cheese sandwich ever, which you got, win the lottery, ride a unicycle, invent something, remake the movie Kazam with Shaquille O'Neal where he plays a genie and get it right this time, go skydiving, outrun a hippo, and then fly first class on a plane. And when people are walking by, be like laugh.
Yeah, that's funny. I mean, some of those are just actual bucket list things to do. That's just like what a normal person would write down. And then, but there's also remake Kazam and get it right. That's the Andy. That's the Andy guarantee. I always said, I mean, like, it was so funny. He was living in a pit, and now he's a guardian of the galaxy. That is like the meteoric rise of Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt is my heartthrob. He's very well aware of this.
There's a lot of people that try to rank the Chris's, and then it's King, and then really a 4-way tie amongst the other 4 Chris's. They all have an equal tie, but
See, my favorite is Fat Pratt.
there you go. Before that Marvel money came in, so there you go.
You didn't get the joke.
I didn't get the joke.
But I'm sorry to disappoint you on the 3 music questions, but still good. But it is. I will take 1.5 on that. So now I have earned 5 altogether. But it comes back to y'all on the last set of 5 here.
This is the Picante
The
round.
Diablo.
The Diablo.
Oh boy.
So here we go. Number 1 in this set is in a segment for Vanity Fair on YouTube. Actress Keke Palmer was shown a picture and noted, I hate to say it, I hope I don't sound ridiculous, I don't know who this man is. I mean, he could be walking down the street and I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry to this man. For whom is Keke Palmer sorry?
I love her.
Oh my God, I know.
And I love that quote because it's been done so many times.
I know.
Number 2, what record is held by a September 3rd, 2000 Dallas Cowboys game? And what record is held by a December 31st, 1967 Dallas Cowboys game?
Uh-oh. Where's Dad, Cameron? Go get Dad.
So, number 3 is, in recent years, Brad Pitt has received Oscar nominations for producing films like The Big Short, and he also won most recently with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I want you to name the 3 films that earned Brad Pitt an acting nomination prior to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Number 4, 866 Cannery Row is the address of what tourist attraction? And number 5 is our office question. I'm going to be sharing my screen with y'all. So let me make sure I get it all set up. And so y'all are aware of the TV game show Let's Make a Deal, where it ends with choosing door 1, door 2, and door 3, correct? Mm-hmm. Let me share my screen with y'all, and hopefully this all works. Here we go. Yeah, I want to do it on the website here. I never use Firefox, and it's so I don't have all my fun ad blockers and fun things like that. Chrome, I'm a diehard Chrome person. It is.
Same.
Y'all can see a web page, correct?
Yeah, we just can't see
You
what's
have to agree to use cookies.
Yeah, I agreed to use cookies down at the bottom. Maybe.
Yeah, hopefully it says 3D engine loading.
We saw it for a split second, and then it disappeared.
So I'm having to do teletherapy for work right now, and this is literally my life for the last 6 weeks.
Mm.
Hold on, it's loading.
Yeah. This is all the suspense right here. May have to refresh it again to.
Yeah, I would refresh it.
Let's see. Let's go back. Let's go forward. I can see it right here. It's loading. This is gonna be a bummer if I can't. It won't work.
Oh, and I aced that. I used that one. Oh, Chris, while we're loading, I did look up the IPA of that river we were talking about. It is a Yakagani.
Got you. That's good on you. Let's see.
I just had to toot my own horn.
All right. So here is the. So here is. I'll send you the link, and maybe you can get to work on your own here. So this is a picture of the office right here. Basically the link I was trying to send you was the floor map here, where you can zoom in onto it very well. As you can see, there's like Michael's office. You can see my cursor, right?
Yeah.
There's Michael's office. There is, there's the break room. And on the floor map here, there are 3 doors. There's one right here. There is one right here. And there is one right here. And all 3 of these doors do exist. on the set of the TV show The Office. My question is, in exactly one episode, one of these doors is open, and we see what's on the other side of that door. So I need you to tell me, is it door 1, door 2, or door 3? That's half of it. And the other half is to tell me what you would see, or what is the purpose of that door? What is on the other side of it?
I remember the purpose.
So so those are the 5 questions. I'm going to just send y'all all the link, which you can feel free to, look on your own, is what I was trying to show you on all that. So, but let us go back up to the top. So those that are thinking. But start out with number 1 is, in a segment for Vanity Fair on YouTube, actress Keke Palmer was shown a picture and noted, "I hate to say it, I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is. I mean, he could be walking down the street and I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry to this man." For whom is Keke Palmer sorry?
Know the quote, but I can't think of who.
Oh, well, because the funny thing is because so many people, it's turned into a meme now because they'll make it for however many.
And even worse is that the video that's shared a lot for the meme does not feature
Original person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's an actor, I'm pretty sure. It's a well-known
I
actor.
think it was because they were asking her like her opinion on I think tastes of men, like famous Hollywood men that.
Taste of Men, or was it just about other actors? And so I can't remember if it was like people that she was like, I don't know.
Like that she would have a crush on, because that's kind of like Vanity Fair material.
For some reason, I'm thinking George Clooney.
See, I'm thinking Johnny Depp. I'm thinking it's like a photo of Johnny Depp, and he's got like his glasses on, and he's looking all grungy. And I think that's when she looks at. She's like, I don't know who this man is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always want to say it's Johnny Depp, but I can't.
I don't know why I immediately thought Ryan Gosling. I don't know why I thought that, but I don't know.
I could see that too.
I feel like it would be someone who is older.
Well, Ryan Gosling isn't. Johnny Depp, I would say, is older. George Clooney, older. Ryan Gosling, I don't know if I'd put him in that older category yet.
Right, no.
So the Johnny Depp one makes sense to me because I feel like that man has 50 different faces, because every single time I see him online in a magazine or just in movies, like, I don't know it's Johnny Depp until I MDB it. I'm like, oh, like he looks totally different every single time.
Because he's very much a character actor, right?
Yeah.
I think also when he's walking around, like, you also see him, like, either he's wearing sunglasses or, like, ascots and things. Like, he's always dressed up and you never can tell.
I mean, it definitely has to be an actor that people would be stunned by, right? So, like, I can see it being like Johnny Depp or George Clooney, because people are like, how do you not know?
Yeah. So it's got to be an A-lister.
I don't know, guys.
And it's an actor, not an actress, right?
They just said the person.
Oh, I even said actress Keke Palmer was shown a picture and noted, I hate to say, I hope it sounds ridiculous. And then, for whom is Keke Palmer sorry? I did not.
Like, it could even be somebody who's not an actor or actress. I mean, it could just, what?
Nothing.
It is a man, because she says, I'm sorry, I don't know who this
This person is a man. I will. That is for sure. Yeah.
So again, I feel like people would almost give her a pass if it was somebody who was like Mark Zuckerberg, or someone who's like not in
public figure, but not like a celebrity, or actor or something,
So
I swear it's an actor. I don't know.
I thought Christopher Walken.
Why would it be Christopher Walken? Nobody. I mean, very few people under the age of 30 would be able to look at a picture of Christopher Walken and be like, oh yeah, it's Christopher Walken.
And she's under 30.
All right. Y'all have a guess here? What y'all want to say is you got a lot of choices here.
People were like, what? You don't know who that is? That's the point.
Johnny Depp, I guess.
Do we want to go with Johnny Depp?
Johnny Depp.
Do it.
person I could think of.
So Johnny Depp is not a bad guess, but unfortunately, this person was not an actor or is not an actor. This is they're referring to a non-actor person. So I'll give you a hint of why the picture is shown. It the person that is a picture is best known for holding a position that Keke Palmer played on television.
This would help if I knew who Keke Palmer was.
Oh, Liz.
You guys are gonna laugh at me. She did a TV show called True Jackson VP.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Pence?
She did do, okay.
Is it Mike Pence?
Mike Pence,
It was
maybe?
before that,
No, it wasn't before Mike Pence.
It was Joe
from, like,
Biden.
No,
Was
this
it
was
right?
from, no, this was from like a
Barack Obama?
It's VP, Liz.
VP?
Why are we?
maybe Mike Pence. I mean, yeah, because this video is only like a year or two old. It's more recent.
She also did Aquila and the Bee, where is a spelling bee, but I can't
And
see
yeah, I mean,
spelling bee.
I think it's Mike Pence.
So you say Mike Pence. It is not Mike Pence, but it is not Joe Biden either. In fact, it's one more.
So it's a
Cheney.
It's Dick Cheney is who the photo they show. It's saying like, you were on True Jackson VP. How do you compare yourself to Dick Cheney? And they show a picture of what appears to be like Dick Cheney sitting down on an airplane. Is the like kind of like standing like the aisle of an airplane. And then she says of not knowing who this man is. But it is, in fact, that meme is about former Vice President Dick Cheney is who that quote is about. And yeah, y'all were guessing perfectly fine, reasonable people. But yeah, Dick Cheney is the source of that joke, is who sorry to this man. And that man is Dick Cheney. So now you know the next time you see that meme. That is it was a True Jackson VP. That was what Vanity Fair was asking about. So
not no Dick Cheney. I don't know. Like,
that's the same. Like she was about your age or maybe a little bit older when.
would I be able to recognize Dick Cheney? I don't think so.
he's an old bald guy with glasses, like yeah.
Hunting jacket on.
I mean, he looked like a politician. He was, but yeah, that was
Movie Vice.
Dick Cheney, not any of the Hollywood leading men y'all chose, unfortunately. But there you go. Number 2 was, what record is held by a September 3rd, 2000 Dallas Cowboys game, and what record is held by a December 31st, 1967 Dallas Cowboys game?
Can we phone a friend?
Longest.
Phone a friend.
I want to say it's shortest and longest game.
Cameron, go get Dad.
I will say that these two answers are opposites. I will
I
say
think it's shortest and longest game.
Makes sense.
That makes sense to me.
Or is it longest and the shortest? Do we have to?
Do we have to specify which?
you don't have to specify which when you give your answer.
I think shortest and longest then.
It is not shortest and longest. That's it's a very good, solid guess, though.
Coldest.
Most high scoring and lowest high scoring? Is it about score? Could be most high scoring game and then the lowest high scoring game or lowest scoring game.
That's not a bad guess, but still, that is not it either.
Cameron, just go get Dad.
Is
Chris,
it
ask Dad a question.
coldest? Because I think one of them might be the coldest, and it's the 69 game.
So what are you saying?
Hottest and coldest.
Hottest and coldest. To December 31st, 1967 was against the Green Bay Packers, and that is the Ice Bowl, the famous NFC Championship of 1967, and it was minus 15 degrees was how cold the Ice Bowl was. And the other one, not terribly important, but it was 105 degrees against the Eagles is who the Cowboys were playing. It is the hottest NFL game and the coldest NFL game. And
I knew the Ice Bowl, but I didn't.
Yes, the Ice Bowl is the way more famous historic game than mid-season 2000, against the Eagles. But yeah, hottest and coldest. Number 3, it's about Brad Pitt. So looking for the three films prior to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood where he was nominated for an acting nomination for.
I don't know Brad Pitt enough. I don't know.
So if we're thinking acting, I know that he was nominated for Moneyball, but not for acting. That was for producing. So he was technically Best Picture for that. If I'm thinking of what else,
World War Z?
no,
That? I
that
don't know.
wasn't nominated.
Well,
What about 7?
12
I
months.
was thinking that for possibly best supporting actor.
Oh, what about Fight Club?
I was thinking that too, possibly Fight Club, because that's kind of what got him up and rolling. That was 1997. And I was also remembering he's in Interview with Vampires, yes?
Interview with a Vampire? Yeah.
But I think Tom Cruise was not nominated, but
If he was, Tom Cruise would have been best actor.
actor. But now that I'm thinking about it, Tom Cruise has only been nominated for Born on the 4th of July and Top Gun, so that's not it. For Brad Pitt,
Trav says 12 Monkeys.
12. I think that's actually, so I think 12 Monkeys is actually one of them, because I was going to say, I know it's one I haven't seen, and I have not seen 12 Monkeys.
Fight Club and 7? Or do we not think 7?
I don't know if 7 was nominated.
I don't even know if 7 was nominated, because I
Was he in the Ocean series?
he was, but I don't know if he had much of a leading role in either of those. Just because
Lead.
it was
Cool.
George Clooney who mainly was the lead.
Clooney was the lead.
Yeah.
It could have been for supporting actor.
Right. Do you want to name one so far?
Yeah, is there one we're more sure of?
I would say Fight Club.
Yeah, I like Fight Club.
I'd say Fight Club at least for supporting actor.
You want to say
Do it.
Fight Club one of them, Chris?
Fight.
Fight Club is not one of the movies.
Oh, what? That's crazy.
Yeah, so then I do think 12 Monkeys is one of them, because
Because we're not supposed to talk about Fight Club. It's the first rule.
Second rule.
Second rule, one of the rules.
There's 2 rules.
The 1 and 2.
I think 12 Monkeys is one of them, Trev, because I know it is an Oscar-nominated film. I can't tell you exactly why, but I know that he's nominated for, again, a movie I have not seen. And I want to say Interview with a Vampire is another one.
It's 7?
And if it's not,
Are you sure he didn't get nominated for acting for Moneyball? It was just for.
I don't think so.
I thought he did that year.
so I think he was nominated, because that was another one where
He got nominated for Moneyball. Like, he definitely didn't win it, but I thought he got nominated for it.
I thought it was only because he was a producer on it, and it was nominated for like.
We don't nominate producers.
If you're listed as a producer, and if it's listed as like Best Picture, you're
yeah,
listed
come
as.
up at the end, but I thought I specifically remember like seeing him. I don't know.
He's one of the main guys.
He is one of the main actors in it. I thought he was nominated for his acting in Moneyball.
Well, okay. So do we want to go with Moneyball,
12 Monkeys and
12 Monkeys, and
Interview with a Vampire?
yeah.
I don't think Interview with the Vampire was nominated.
Because I can't think of like.
7.
I don't think
Keep going
7
back to
was
7.
nominated.
I don't know.
Yeah. Strangely enough, I don't know if 7 was nominated.
A lot of David Fincher movies don't get
Right.
nominated.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, Social Network did win. That was David Fincher.
There you go.
And Gone Girl
Oh my
was also David Fincher. So never mind. Scratch what I said about David Fincher.
So it could have been 7.
What's that?
You've been 7.
Oh gosh, I don't know. I feel pretty confident with 12 Monkeys being one of them, but now I'm unsure of what.
Moneyball and 7 or Moneyball? I feel like Moneyball is one of them.
I like
Moneyball, 12 Monkey.
Nominated. I, for some reason, just wasn't sure if it was nominated for Best Actor.
I thought it was nominated for a lot because I'm pretty sure Amy Adams was nominated for like supporting actress in Moneyball.
Inglourious Bastards.
Inglourious Bastards.
Moneyball.
They were nominated for Inglourious Bastards, didn't they?
Brad Pitt's amazing performance.
I don't think he got nominated.
Christoph Waltz won in Inglourious
He
Bastards.
did?
Yes.
Oh.
There's no doubt Brad Pitt would have been nominated if Christoph Waltz won.
Ooh, I didn't even think about Inglourious Bastards.
I don't know, guys.
Damn it.
Do we wanna go with 12 Monkeys.
I've never even heard of that movie in my life.
Moneyball and Inglourious Bastards.
I know Inglourious Bastards. I know that one was a really big one.
Yeah, I think that one kind of swept for nominations, but only had, I think, one win, and that was for Christoph Waltz. So, yeah, we'll go with
12 Monkeys, Moneyball.
Inglourious Bastards.
All right.
Do it.
Or you took them. You said 12 Monkeys. And that was his first nomination, 1996, for Best Supporting Actor. That is right. The second we said was Moneyball. He was also nominated as a producer of it, but he also was nominated for Best Actor for the film as well.
Yep.
And the third one was Inglourious Bastards. While Killing Nazis is fun, it is not Inglourious Bastards.
Oh, yeah. I knew it wasn't Inglourious.
Christoph Waltz has won 2 Best Supporting Actors, both for Tarantino roles. It was for Inglourious Bastards and Django.
Yeah.
The other film was a Best Actor nomination for Brad Pitt. And I will tell you the year was 2009.
World War Z.
Nope.
Liz, you're so overseas.
I don't know.
No one watched that.
I don't know. I'm just shooting off names. I don't know movies.
Unfortunately, zombie movies just don't get nominated.
Yeah, that is correct. Zombie movies do not get nominated. No one has said this movie yet.
I hate to say it, but
Coen Brothers movie?
That
Trevor
Coen
says
Brothers,
Coen
Burn
Brothers.
After Reading.
Burn After Reading.
Burn After Reading.
After reading.
Not Burn After
So, Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
No, that is not.
That was like 2003 or 4.
I don't know.
This is a very high class hint. It is this movie is based on a short story by F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Button.
That is right. It is
Oh, shit.
I forgot about that.
So wait, what were the 3 answers?
12 Monkeys, Benjamin Button, and Moneyball are the 3. And then he had a string of nominations for Moneyball, 12 Years a Slave, and The Big Short were all for Best Picture Producing. And then he was nominated for Supporting Actor for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and he won his second. He won for 12 Years a Slave as a producer, so his second Academy Award, but his first for acting.
Mhm.
But yeah, Benjamin Button, how soon we forget, and that is exactly right there. But
I forget about that film because honestly, I think I've watched it once because just the way they tried to animate him being
yeah,
young.
It was weird.
That was weird.
Never watched
they
it.
met in the middle. They met in the middle, and then became a baby. It's weird. Number 4 is 866 Cannery Row. Is the address of what tourist attraction?
I know this. Like, I've heard of this before. Is it? I feel like it's somewhere in England.
Sounds Englandy.
Cannery makes me think of like a canning
Cantery.
thing.
Is it Cantery?
Wait, is it cannery or cantery?
Cannery, Cannery.
Layla's looking at different. She's got something else pulled up on her screen.
It's the Office thing.
No, guys, yeah, that's I was joking. I was like, I know what not looking at the grid of faces looks like on Zoom. You're clearly, you were in tune with a thing that was not other people's faces.
I'm trying.
I'm just razzing you. You're good.
I didn't know the movie, so
It's like I'm out.
Cannery, it's somewhere in England?
Cannery Road.
Row. It's Cannery Row. R-O-W.
So it's definitely in England.
Cannery is Cannery. Cannery Row.
Is it in England?
It is not in the United Kingdom. This is, in fact, in America.
Thinking of something that gets canned, like a beer or something.
It's just a historic name, I think, but it's.
Yeah, this is y'all seem to be stumped on this. I'm gonna need to give y'all a hint to the right direction. So a massive hint here is that Cannery Row is the name of a novel. Cannery Row is the name of a novel by a famous author.
All right, Jessica.
Stop. I knew Cannery Row for a reason, but now I can't think. That's not Hemingway, no. Hemingway didn't write Cannery Row.
It is not Hemingway, I'll tell you that.
Not Animal Farm, right?
Animal Farm would be Britain, but it is not. It is not.
Oh.
Would it have anything to do with Why am I blanking on this really famous author who also wrote Catcher in the Rye?
J.D. Salinger is him. And
Salinger.
it is not J.D. Salinger, but it is a 20th century American author.
Hmm.
And it's got to be like a big.
We're looking for the name of the business or building that's there,
So
right?
who's the author that like shut himself away in that little cabin for like ever to write a book? And it was probably a book. I don't fucking know.
What?
Who? Shit. David Henry Thoreau.
Henry David Thoreau.
David.
It is not Henry David Thoreau, but not a bad guess. Author of Walden and of
Yeah.
I can't remember. Okay, so we're looking for the name of the business or the name of the building?
Looking for a building. That helps get you the connection there. So I'm going to give you a hint here. So Cannery Row is the name of a novel by John Steinbeck.
You said John.
Back. You said it's a rag.
And I just said John
You
Steinbeck.
didn't say John Steinbeck.
To you.
Yeah. So, yep. Let me. This is a couple of pieces you got to put together in order to get this right. So, Cannery Row is the name of a novel by John Steinbeck, and y'all know where Steinbeck wrote where he wrote most of his novels about? What part of the United States? So, John Steinbeck notably wrote a lot of novels about California. That is the area where John Steinbeck notably wrote. I mean, Grapes of Wrath starts out in Oklahoma, but it goes towards California, and like Of Mice and Men. Those novels are all set in the California area.
Is it like the zigzaggy road?
San Francisco is but he didn't really write. His neck of the woods was more north of San Francisco. He wrote about like the Salinas Valley and that area, and so Cannery Row was actually a facility where, I mean, it refers to like the actual canning process, and in fact, it was more like sardine, like fishery type stuff was what like the canning was here. That's where Cannery Row is about poor workers in that area. He wrote a lot of novels about the city of Monterey, California, is where it is. And Cannery Row is also a street in Monterey. And the most famous facility in Monterey is the Monterey Bay Aquarium, which is a world-class aquarium. They're known for their sea otters, which is a thing that the aquarium is known for. They're very good Twitter follows. You can watch a lot of sea otters doing things. But it is the Monterey Bay Aquarium. If you've seen Finding Dory, basically the aquarium that they go to in Finding Dory, that's supposed to be the Monterey Bay Aquarium. I don't think it's not called the exact same, but it is supposed to be exactly that facility.
I've heard of the Monterey Bay Aquarium.
Yeah, you had to like the Johns, like you get knowing Monterey, knowing the Cannery Row's in Monterey, and then knowing California geography or California tourist attractions. Yeah, that is that there. But no, so there you go, Cannery Row by John Steinbeck. But all right, and then ending our round with our office questions. So now you have the picture of the office. So door 1, door 2, door 3 for half point. So you get a 1/3 chance, just like Let's Make a Deal. And then for the other half point is to tell me what would you find that door open for. So
Can you put the visual again?
He's in the chat.
Yeah,
it's in the chat?
Yeah, I put it in the chat, and I have a link there.
Oh, okay, I see it.
Yep.
Number 1 is the one by like Meredith and Oscar's desk, and then it goes 2, 3.
So yeah, I can tell you exactly what it opens to. You finally see it open in the last season after Brian stands up for Pam. She's talking to him at the door as he's getting like sound stuff, like because it's where they have their equipment, where all the documentary people have their equipment.
Okay.
They show it in the very last season. I know that is what it leads to. So I guess you'd say it's a storage room with like all of the camera equipment.
Hallway
The question is,
hallway door in the annex. Hold on.
Window.
No, this right here is a door. 1, 2, 3.
It's all the ones that are on the wall closest to us.
And there,
He's out of the bathroom. One is the hallway in the annex, and the other is in the main office
That's by
area.
Meredith's door. I like
By Meredith's
Cameron's
desk.
answer because she's
So
like,
Meredith's
boom,
door-
Jack, when are you going to boom me?
Yes. And he's like, actually, we aren't supposed to be talking with you guys. And yeah, so, and you basically get a shot of it because they put the camera down, I think, on Angela's desk, kind of shooting at an angle towards it.
That's
Is it
right.
in the storage closet? That's
Maybe got it then.
I believe it's the first one by Meredith's desk. She wouldn't have been talking to him in the annex.
storage closet behind Meredith's desk.
Door number 1.
The first door.
So
I want to see it.
The other doors, one's in the bathroom,
no,
and then the other one is in the hallway through the annex. And I don't ever remember somebody talking in that little hallway door.
yeah, it's not that. I believe it's the first one,
That
first
makes sense.
by Meredith's desk. And that's where they've been holding all of their equipment for the documentary.
That makes sense. It's probably like a storage closet or something by Meredith's desk. So that first door. Is that what we think, guys?
So
Yeah, we're going
door
for it.
1, and then the equipment room.
Yeah.
And that is the correct answer. Door number 1 is the room. And in fact, you're right. There's actually a picture, let's see, to everyone can remember. I can share the screen here. That is the interior of the room right there. And that is the equipment room, and Brian is talking to them. That's exactly right. We actually, there's a weird bit of continuity error with it because that is also the door that Oscar and Jim slam the copier machine into to try to escape the fire.
We're watching that too.
But unfortunately, and somehow, I guess maybe it's supposed to be an exit at one point. It is exactly that door, but in fact, it becomes or it probably was the entire time, a storage room for the documentary equipment. But that is where they slam it into. But exactly right. Very good one-scene knowledge of The Office, and that is exactly right. So
Towards the last season, they started getting a little sloppy. Like,
Yeah.
they forgot that Angela, the whole series, was a vegetarian. And then they have that one part where she's talking about when Philip was actually conceived. And she said, and there was way too much wine in my chicken piccata. And then Oscar cracks her and goes, chicken marsala.
Well, that's very good, specific, continuity. I've never heard that before. That's very good. I did not have that.
Because like previously, like at Jim's barbecue and like the first or second season,
Sure. I mean, she's acting prudish for most of the show. It wouldn't shock me, but the chicken was as funny that's where it falls down is in the final season. Yeah. Turns out continuity is hard when you have a show that lasts more than 4 seasons. At that point, like continuity becomes very, very difficult.
Yeah.
I think that's why I noticed that like TV shows will have like pictures of all their characters on the wall in the writing room, so they can look at who exists and who doesn't exist. And but no, that is exactly right. Very good Office knowledge there. And I think on all that, 2 full points for y'all on that final set there. So very well done. And right now, if y'all will give me the last set of 5, and then we will see how I do on this. I'm excited and worried. I hope it's not more BTS knowledge. I'm sorry to say. Yeah.
okay. My 3 are dance related, so dance history type of questions.
Okay. That's all right.
All right. So, number 1, using African American spirituals, song sermons, gospel songs, and holy blues, Revelation is a signature work by which dance company? Number 2, Mandy Moore is known for her choreography on So You Think You Can Dance and in the film La La Land. She is now a producer and choreographer for what NBC show? And then the next one, Isadora Duncan is known as the mother of modern dance. She died in 1927. What was the cause of her death? And then Jared, you got this one.
All right. In Kobe Bryant's career-high 81-point game, he scored on 8 separate Toronto Raptors defenders. Though only allowing 18 of the 81, this player still takes the heat for allowing 81, most notably in a commercial featuring himself and Kobe.
So looking for the player that
The player that allowed 18 of the 81, which is the most that was allowed, and he was the defender.
Got you. For the Raptors. All right.
And then the last part.
You wrote this one too.
Yep. This is our Parks and Rec question. This co-star of another workplace comedy trades in his cubicle and moves his startup to Pawnee after losing to Ben in the game of the Cones of Dunshire. So I'm looking for the actor's name.
Yeah. Right. All right. So it's the 5 questions. So we're going to start back up at the top. So number 1.
All right, number 1. Using African American spirituals, song sermons, gospel songs, and holy blues, Revelations is a signature work by which dance company?
So trying to think of dance companies, which isn't the answer, I'm not sure if I have the name right, but the answer I have would be the American Dance Company. Anyway, it's the one founded by Alvin Ailey, and I'm pretty sure it's something like the American Dance Company. I know it's with the I think American's the first word, and I'm gonna say like the American Dance Company is my guess here.
I mean, we'll give you credit. It's the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater.
Dance Theater, that's right, 82, that's right, American Dance Theater.
He gets that one because I don't even know who Alvin Ailey is. So
He said Alvin Ailey. I was like, okay, you're good.
oh my God, you got it.
Okay, the next one, Mandy Moore, and it's not the actress, it's the choreographer. She's known for her choreography on So You Think You Can Dance and in the film La La Land. She's now a producer and choreographer for what NBC show?
Right. I'm making sure I have the title of this right. I'm a big NBC diehard. That's like our family is NBC. I don't know why. I don't know if y'all's families are NBC, but my family's always been NBC. And I know Leslie Jones loves this show. And is it Zoe's Infinite Playlist is the name of the show?
No.
It's Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist.
Oh, Extraordinary. Oh,
Nora's Infinite Playlist.
that's right. That's
Infinite
I'll say I'm taking half on that, but that's his. Yeah, I knew it's her, and then like Lauren Graham is a main person in it, and I know they dance in the commercials. And yeah, Extraordinary. That's right. Infinite. That's 2 different long words describing playlist in popular media. That's odd. Yeah, I was like, I knew it was Zoe's and playlist, and I was like, Infinite was the only word I had. But you're right. That's definitely what the Infinite Playlist is, and not Extraordinary. Man, that's funny though. That is
Actually watched it, but you know.
no, that's good to have watched things on TV. You know, that is like I'm a big believer of watching things on TV, and it's still I think it's doing well from what I understand. And it's very musical, and but that's the only commercial I think that has dancing involved with it. So that's Extraordinary. Oh, I watch those commercials all the time. So I watch NBC News, and Jeopardy comes on in Columbia after on the NBC channel. So you see the commercials, but man, Extraordinary, Dookie.
Chris, I hope it's okay. We've added another player to our team.
I see.
Yes.
A player has joined.
That player's joined.
There's a cat in the video now. It'll get way more views.
You are underestimating how little views.
Our job will get more views.
My final dance question before the sports. All right, Isadora Duncan, known as the mother of modern dance, died in 1927. What was the cause of her death?
And I was mixing her up with Anna Pavlova, who was the Dying Swan balleter. But Isadora Duncan gruesomely died by getting her scarf caught in a car door, and that is how she died via what I don't know exactly what cause of death is exactly, sadly, but it involved, unfortunately, the scarf around her neck and attached to a car door closed is my answer to that.
So it was a scarf, but it was actually the wheel of the car.
Okay, it was. I knew it was something not great. I never I don't really like going into the finer details of death. I knew it was involved scarf and car, and that's honestly all you need to know. The exact what happened, yeah, we don't need to look into that's a bummer, as I like to call things. And but no, car door, that is good. But actual classical dance knowledge, I'm very excited. That is
Impressed.
I was hoping for some good ballet type things. I listened to Appalachian Spring last night, and that's something I listened to get a good pick me up. Is listening to Appalachian Spring on YouTube. That is fun. But all right, so now a Kobe question.
All right. So in Kobe Bryant's career high 81-point game, he scored on 8 separate Toronto Raptors defenders. Though only allowing 18 of these 81, this player takes the heat for allowing all 81 as he was the main defender of Kobe. And is most notably in a commercial featuring himself and Kobe Bryant.
Right. I have a sibling who would just know this. Like my brother is the basketball knowledge person of our family, and I know he knows details about the 81-point game. Like I know he could. I mean, I know my brother could tell you what he was wearing on Kobe's 60-point game. Like looking for who was going to be a Raptors player in the 81-point game. Trying to think what's even a good answer here. I can't think of too many legacy Raptors players that are still with them already. I'm not even sure what year the 81-point game was. This is all that fair knowledge of asking details about a famous game. That is always legit trivia. But I don't. I don't know who this is going to be. Who did this player play for other teams? And what teams were they if they did? What notable teams? Yeah.
He played for the Pacers for the good part of the beginning of career, and then he played on the Bulls after the Raptors.
Who was the Pacers? Is it? It's not Artest, is it?
It's not. If I told you he was a member of the Fab Five, would you know that?
Oh, I don't like this. I don't like when I'm supposed to know things and I can't remember.
Welcome to our world.
And he's currently a host on ESPN morning show called Get Up.
Too many hints, Jared.
You already get it.
I'm unfortunately not watching ESPN morning shows. Oh no, is it Chris? Is it no? It's Fab. I can't name the Fab Five. That's this is where people I know will get mad at me when I'm late. All the things are laid out about,
I'm thinking Chris Webber. It's not Chris Webber.
I'm trying to name Chris Webber, and that is not the Fab Five member.
Those two are probably the two most notable Fab Five players.
What is not Chris Webber on the Fab Five?
It's fun to see the tables turned here. And
I know. This is why I enjoy doing this for the exact reason. I like being asked questions of things I know I should know the answer to. Like it really makes, that's the best kind of question.
Welcome to us on Thursdays.
Exactly.
Not feeling our pain.
I know. This is what this entire series is all about.
Although I gotta say, at least this time we can actually hear your questions without going shh.
Right. It's all, it is silence in here. You're gonna have to tell me. I'm gonna be mad. And I don't have it. You need to tell me.
Jalen Rose.
Garbage. That's disappointing. Yep. Dang, that's exactly right. That's the Fab Five. I'll quick plug for Uncle Drew. I thought Uncle Drew was a very funny movie, and Chris Webber was very good in it. If you have Uncle Drew is the Space Jam 2 prequel we need before the real one comes out next year. I hope that gets still made on time.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Dang it. All right, that one hurt. Like I said, I was better at modern dance than I was at knowing Michigan basketball players. Very disappointing on my end, but I will take Alvin Ailey knowledge there. So, all right, so number 5, our Parks and Rec question.
All right. This co-star of another workplace comedy trades in his cubicle and moves his startup to Pawnee after losing to Ben in a game of the Cones of Dunshire.
Exactly, because it's Dorma is one of the Grizzle employees, and then it's Blake from Workaholics, and his first name is Blake because all the 3 main characters of Workaholics are Durs, Adam and Blake, and Blake's last name, maybe he'll give me credit for saying Blake. Is it Anderson? Is it Blake Anderson?
It is.
There we go. Yeah. Workaholics was a very good show. Yes. And Jorma is one of the.
We've been watching both, so I decided to just.
Oh, right. Perfect. It's a perfect way to blend 2 things together there. But Blake Anderson it's all about the cones as Ben Wyatt says. So on that, missing some Fab Five members. I think I earned 3.5 right there. So right now, going to our last question, y'all have earned together 9 points, and I believe I have earned 8.5 points there. So we did very, very good on all our set here. Our final question. So this was sent by my brother, and so I have not looked at this question yet. It is on my email, and I will pull it up. And I will read it aloud. We'll play all together right now on this final question. So it is in 1830, a 21-year-old Abraham Lincoln won county champion of his Illinois home in this individual sport. In 1992, he was named in this sport's National Hall of Fame. So we're looking for a sport here.
What was the year again?
1830 is when Lincoln won as a 21-year-old, and then in 92, Lincoln was named into this sport's National Hall of Fame.
You said it's a solo sport?
Yes, a non-team sport.
So like ice skating.
He was a farm boy.
You gotta think it's Illinois, right? Or Indiana, one of the 2.
Illinois home in this individual sport.
I'm gonna say something like sharpshooting, or like I mean.
I like something like like real traditional, like
archery.
Boxing is also another, like that's an old sport, I mean, none of the, like, I feel like any sport, it's got to be something that's very specific. Like, it wouldn't be like weightlifting or wrestling or boxing.
Wrestling.
I'm thinking tall, scrawny Abe. What?
This was 21 years old. This would have been Abe. He was probably fit. Everyone back in the day was fit. Like, that's what living in the old days was, being fit. He lived on a farm, of course.
Yeah, and I mean, he was known.
What about fishing?
I don't think fishing competitions existed back in the day. That's kind of a current thing. I don't think, like, back in the day, that was just living, was fishing back in the day. There wasn't.
What about I'm just spin whatever right now. But he built a log cabin. What about something with lumberjack skills, tree cutting? I don't know.
I also think all of the great outdoor games, as ESPN calls it, I think that's all still kind of a current thing. Like, I think anything that was actually living in the 19th century, that's just what we've created in the recent, to make, to salute it. Back in the day, you didn't there weren't cutting wood. That was just living life. That was survival was the game.
I
feel like they can make games out of survival.
If he was a farmer, if he was a farm boy, there's shot put, where that's an individual thing. But I don't know if that was so.
Right. Any track and field. I mean, the first Olympics were 1896 was the first modern Olympics.
Right.
I like anything track and field related. Anything, outside as individual as well, running or, throwing. I'm sure
the year he was put in the Hall of Fame for it or whatever?
He said 1992 was the year it was. Most sports have a Hall of. I mean, that's why I like a traditional sport. So like things that have Hall of Fames are like real, are like are real sports per se. Like I like a track and field Hall of Fame, a boxing Hall of Fame, a wrestling Hall of Fame. Anything like sprinting. I don't know, like all the track and field type stuff. Would be
So
golf.
read the question one more time because I'm seeing 2 years. I see 1830 and 1992.
1830, a 21-year-old Abraham Lincoln won county champion of his Illinois home in this individual sport, non-team sport. In 1992, Lincoln was named in this sport's National Hall of Fame. I will say this would have been posthumous. Lincoln would have been dead.
Yeah.
By,
Yeah, absolutely.
Not as a vampire.
I don't know.
What would be at a county fair in 1830?
I
everything.
feel like there could be like a log splitting competition at the county fair in 1830, and then the Lumberjack Hall of Fame in 1992 could be.
There's no log splitting Hall of Fame. Like that's just
Lumberjack Hall of Fame though.
Yeah, I don't. That's not sport. My brother, who is a diehard sports person, would not put lumberjacking as a sport. I promise you, my brother's sports purity is higher than lumberjacking. I'm sorry to tell you that.
What about like sharpshooting or something?
Yeah, that would be definitely more possible. I like boxing. I know, like, boxing's a sport that's individual. There's a Hall of Fame for it, Like,
He's got the reach, got them long arms.
It's a thing of like he did it in 1830, and it took him until 1992 to decide we should.
That's what I'm thinking. There would have to be like a newer Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
It wouldn't shock. Yeah, true. It wouldn't shock me that some sports bigwig was looking up facts about Abraham Lincoln, and it was like, oh, Abraham Lincoln played our sport. We should put him in the Hall of Fame. That'd be fun. Like that would be. That's the mentality of sports bigwigs. Would be doing something like that.
Doing something for publicity.
It wasn't like Pete Rose not getting the Hall of Fame, like some long injustice. It was just like, oh yeah, this Abraham Lincoln played the sport. Yeah, we should put him in the Hall of Fame. That'd be fun.
Which makes me think it probably would be like a lesser known, kind of smaller,
I feel like the box,
sport, more of a niche type of not something obviously that's gonna
like a historical like Hall of Fame wouldn't just be like put Abe in there.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like I think boxing has higher standards to be like.
right. I think.
Yeah, I like sharpshooting. I like track and field. I like wrestling. I like boxing to a degree.
But what would the sharpshooting Hall of Fame be?
Well, exactly. I don't know exactly.
I don't think that one fits as an actual Hall of Fame, and this is like their only member.
That's fair.
Maybe track and field. Was it like running like however?
Track and field's probably its own Hall of Fame. I don't know. What do y'all want to say? What's your
I kind of like boxing just because I feel like it's something going to be completely out of the norm because you think of Abraham Lincoln as like this pacifist, I guess, someone who is very, calm and nice and courteous, and then boxing is very, I guess, an aggressive sport. I don't know.
Boxer too. I feel like in the back of my mind, like Abraham Lincoln boxing is something I've heard in my life.
Let's see. Let's try it. I'm going to scroll up on the PDF here. And it is wrestling is the sport there.
Oh. I mean,
It's similar.
Very close.
Probably wasn't wrestling, as some people call it. This is probably the more traditional wrestling.
Greco-Roman.
Exactly. Something along with actual, real sport, not throwing chairs in 1830. That style.
they didn't have the face masks.
Exactly. He was like
a
Mexican luchador. Like he was the entire persona there. We don't add 1 point, but I think we end with y'all earning 9 points, and I think I will take my 8.5 there. A very well-earned points all the way around. Did you at home beat them at 9 points or me 8.5? If you did, congratulations. But that is today's game. I want to thank Straight Out of the Office for coming and playing the game here. An extreme lot of fun. Maybe we'll have them back on again sometime. The quarantine's going to last a while here in Columbia, so maybe we'll do it. But thank you all so much. Hope you take care of home. Stay safe, stay inside, wash your hands, and we'll see you again soon.